The new AI documentary from Oscar winner Daniel Rohrer and his co-director Charlie Tyrell lays out everything we are all thinking and fearing and hopeful for and worried about and anxious about AI all in one place. The people they interview are the biggest names in AI. And for some reason, I don't feel any better after having seen it. Hey, I'm Mike. I studied film, I work in TV, and if you love movies as much as I do, hit that subscribe button and get notified when new content's posted. The official title of the film is The AI Doc, or How I Became an Apocalyptimist. That's actually a pretty good word to describe my feelings after seeing the doc, an apocalyptimist. It starts by laying out a solid foundation of the dread the possibilities of an AI future will bring and confirm the worst of what we've all been saying about AI. We are building a superintelligence, something way more intelligent than us as mere humans. Something that will replace the jobs of millions of people, not just entry-level workers, but replacing jobs across a wide swath of the employment spectrum, thus cratering our economy and sending us into a dystopian nightmare, with all of our valuable natural resources being used to support the ginormous server farms that are necessary to run the tech, creating the widest wealth gap in human history with very few people at the top and the rest of us fighting over the scraps. Or it will be the greatest gift mankind has ever created. It will develop new methods to cure disease and free us up so that we may pursue our passions like painting and sculpting and the pursuit of the arts. It will solve all the problems plaguing society, do all of the things people don't want to do, like manual labor. What's to say an AI won't be in control of a forklift, or a humanoid robot that can lift crates and load trucks, drive long-haul transports, cargo ships? Shit, I'm back to this cratering our economy and causing economic disaster again. As you can imagine, half of you out there are probably in the AI is going to kill us camp, and the other half are in the AI is going to solve all of our problems camp. And the doc does a good job of laying out the case for both. And its thesis is, well, AI is going to do both. It has the power to be both the greatest invention for mankind and the worst. Apocalyptimism. So the apocalypse is coming, but, don't worry, man. It's cool. Sort of like it's going to get worse before it gets better. The event horizon for AI is right in front of us. It's something the AI think tanks are calling AGI, or Artificial General Intelligence. That's a theoretical form of AI that possesses human-like intelligence, capable of learning, reasoning, and applying knowledge across a wide variety of tasks, rather than just one specialized function. So let's back up. The AI we have now is just a program that uses the entirety of human knowledge to predict patterns. It's not technically intelligence. It's smart, but not like in an autonomous sense. The AI we use today is just guessing at what it thinks comes next based on what it's fed. It can solve complex problems by analyzing previous problems. It's getting better and better every day at recognizing what comes next, but ultimately, it's just a form of predictive text. It's not using reasoning skills. True AI, dubbed AGI, is still a ways away, but it's out there, and everyone in this doc seems to think we are a few keystrokes away from creating a true AGI model. So what does that mean? It would be like encountering an alien species with super intelligence. That's the biggest fear about exploring space, is that we'll actually find a race of super intelligent beings, but that they won't necessarily want to go to war with us, but are so much smarter than us that they don't pay us much attention and just wipe us out, the way we would wipe out an ant colony to make way for a patio. We don't necessarily want to kill ants, we're just smarter than them to a factor of about 100 that we don't pay them any mind. And that's the fear of AGI. AGI, in the wrong hands, could be devastatingly harmful. There's no telling what a rogue nation or malignant dictator would do with a true AGI model. Nearly everyone in the film, including the guys leading the charge to create AGI, guys like OpenAI's Sam Altman, Anthropic's Dario Amodei, and Google DeepMind's Demis Hassabis, seems on board with getting the government to step in and regulate the research. Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk declined to participate in the doc. In fact, the film appears to be a cry for help. Like, please stop this madness before it's too late. Coming from the guys who are creating it. So why not just pull the plug? Just stop creating the thing. To answer that, the film compares the development of AGI to the development of the nuclear bomb. When the Manhattan Project was happening, we had intel that said that the Germans were developing a similar technology. Neither side could back down for fear that the other would continue to develop this devastating technology first. So there's this escalatory fear. There's also the power involved. The first to own AGI is the one who can, and likely will, take over the world. And that's why these tech companies are investing tens of billions into this technology, all trying to get there first. But what if they aren't the first to achieve AGI? That might explain the news that came out a few years ago talking about why these tech billionaires were building compounds in remote parts of the world. If AGI is achieved and their company is not the one to have discovered it, then they're going to need a place to ride out the apocalypse. Yeah, that's not in the doc, but I couldn't shake that thought while I was watching it. Now is a good time to talk about the film. It's directed by Oscar winner Daniel Rohrer and co-directed by Charlie Tyrell. It's produced by the Academy Award-winning team behind Everything Everywhere All at Once, Daniel Kwan and Jonathan Wang. Kind of alongside the story of AI and what it is and what it might be capable of doing is the story of Rohrer and his wife discovering that they're going to be parents. It serves as yet another parallel to a technology that's in its infancy. Another metaphor. Like the development of nuclear weapons, their child is a metaphor for the tech that could grow up with so much potential, could be so much, has so much possibility, but its future is unknown. It's an interesting metaphor because kids are only as good as the parents that raise them. And in AI's case, it would only be as good or as bad as the information we feed into it. And that information needs to be scrutinized and vetted and not left to just surf its parents' iPads being exposed to the darkest corners of the internet, unsupervised. As a parent myself, I worry in the short term that AI will replace a lot of the jobs that my children will be going out for, that the AI economy will widen the wealth gap, that we are sending our kids to school and into a job market that will be radically different from what they're trained for. In the longer term, I worry about unspeakable acts of inhumanity. I worry about entire towns or countries being wiped out because the AGI deemed the needs of its server farm more important than the needs of the humans that inhabit the land. That the natural resources were better served going to keep the servers cool than to keep people alive. That a select group of quadrillionaires will use AGI to gobble up all the world's wealth. See, big companies need people. They need people to work in the factories and sow the fields and make the company money. But what happens when companies no longer need people? When they can make larger and larger profits without paying people salaries? Turns out that everything I'm worried about is how people will use technology against other people. The AGI isn't inherently evil. We put that trait on it. I don't fear a Terminator type of future where the cyborgs one day come alive and wage war against us. I worry about the worst of humanity using this intelligence against other humans. I began to realize that most of the truly apocalyptic scenarios about AI are what we're going to use it for, not that it will suddenly become sentient and try to exterminate us. Anyway, I guess I'm not sleeping tonight either. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the very creative animations that are in the AI doc. The filmmaking is top notch. Jesus, I'm going to need a Xanax now. Anyway, those are my thoughts on the AI doc or how I became an apocalyptimist. I'd love to read yours in the comments below. As always, film is about community. I'm Mike, and I love movies.